Here we are. We are live. All right, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
It's so good to see you, Tony.
I'm sitting outside and it's cold. It's very cold.
Okay, let me see what it's like on if it's coming up on the other. Tony, I have been staying in my bedroom. I hate to say it, but even Denise didn't hear from me for about a week. Ugh.
I just got. I'd make phone calls. Hey, I don't feel good. All right, I'll talk to you later. Or I'm tired. Okay, I'll talk to you later. That's the extent of our conversation, which is very rare.
Yeah. Once I got over about a month's worth of upper respiratory, Tony, it took me a while to come back from that. I told Denise, I said, I don't know if that's why I was so sleepy because me and Kevin went through it. We didn't. I didn't talk to the girls as much. I didn't go to church. Oh man,
She had a little bit of. She was not feeling well, and the I miss my Caseitis. Oh
yeah.
my gracious, winds are gonna go.
And I got to get used to this because Casey was he and I would be like, he'd say like, Mom, how you feel like that? Yeah, yeah. Or either before he'd go into work, he'd always come in, and even if me and Denise and us were all talking, he'd come in and say, Mom, can you pray me into work? So I'd say, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
Lord.
even now, hey, hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
But
Jen or JK?
Jen, it's JRKR.
Oh,
But
JRK.
he's still
Hey,
calling me
Jen.
now. He'll call me and say, Mom, I'm about to go into work. You want to pray me into work? And I'll say, yeah. And so we FaceTime just as much, and we message back and forth all day. So that's how we would do when he'd be in the other room because he worked from home. So we'd be texting back and forth. But
Ooh.
it's still different because he was in the
She's out
house.
thrifting. She's having a good old time.
He was Casey was in the house all the time, and which wasn't good for him. But
Yeah.
so I'm having days of a silent house,
I
no
just had.
sound.
I hadn't felt too hot either, so. But it's kind of cold and windy here. We got that. Nicole is coming up this way. Hurricane. Well, it'll be a tropical. I have a tropical storm or tropical.
You
So
guys,
it's
real quick,
so a lot of wind, a lot of rain coming.
just so everybody will know, I pinned up at the top. Elizabeth is my goddaughter.
Yeah.
I only have two goddaughters. She's my goddaughter, and she lost her dad, and
Oh,
so
baby.
so
I love you, Elizabeth.
bless her heart, she's got four kids in the house. The baby's, what did you say, Elizabeth? 5 months old. How old's your baby now?
Mm,
So there's been a very lot going on in Elizabeth's life right now.
yeah. Well, we've
Um,
been praying for her anyway.
mm-hmm.
So that I do know.
Yeah. And you guys know Kent.
Yeah.
That is, he's from Sandy's channel.
Yeah. Everybody knows
Uh,
Kent that ever
okay.
does the Sandy's channel.
All right. The youngest baby is 9 months.
I know. He's
So she has twins too.
he's doing really good though.
He is. He lost his spouse, and they were together how long?
Over
30
40
something?
years.
Over 40?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but there's been people that have been healed, and there's people still sick, but I just thank God I got to go to church Saturday and Sunday.
Amen.
I mean, I tell you what,
Yeah. I've got on my blanket hoodie. It's what I got on. It's got sleeves and everything. It's like a big old blanket.
look, we had to take our truck. They had a recall on the where you put your when you put your car in park. Some of it, it was disengaging,
The
and so
transmission.
yeah, it's a between the transmission and something, and our
The
engine light
drive
come on.
shaft. The
That
drive
is a 2022 truck, and the engine light came on. And I told him the door messes up,
You never know.
so it's in the shop. And Kevin has his Jeep that only has he made a top for it. That's it. I took my Big Blue, which is that road, Big Blue. I put it up over my head and wrapped myself in it, and it was still cold
You
at 9
need one
o'clock.
of these, I'm telling you.
It was cold. Hey, Hetty.
Hey, Hetty. I love you, baby.
But, I just sing God's praises because I don't pay anymore for Apple Music. We scaled way down. So it did pick up um, YouTube. So I watched Joyce Myers. She stepped all over my toes. I watched 2 of her videos. I hadn't watched her videos in years. Mm-mm. When I tell you, my toes was sore when I got home because, yeah, God told me about it. Yeah,
That's tough business, Elizabeth, I can assure you.
Elizabeth's
I'm
dad.
grateful I still have my dad.
Elizabeth's dad is my age, or was he 60? Elizabeth, but he did good raising his 2 girls.
Yeah.
He was a very good dad to his 2 girls. Elizabeth
My
was
dad was just here earlier.
Elizabeth was he was 61. Okay.
Okay.
So he was Kevin's age.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth was like a little mama to Michelle. I have a picture sometimes I put on Facebook, and it's of Tiffany had a little birthday party. So it was Tiffany, Michelle, and Elizabeth on my couch. Oh, Elizabeth.
Oh, I've seen that picture. That is a cute picture. I love that picture.
She said he was her best friend.
Yeah.
So
I get it. I get
yep. And Hetty, me and Denise were talking about husbands yesterday, and when I was doing, the house is so silent when Kevin's at work and Tiffany's asleep or if she's not here because she finally found some, people to socialize with
it. Yeah.
that doesn't drink or do drugs or none of that. But so she'll be gone, and it's so quiet. It's like it's just quiet.
It is right.
But I thought of you, Hetty, and Denise.
The silence is a little deadly there sometimes.
And our other friend Hetty, she lost her husband and then her son.
You're talking about
Blandine.
Yeah, Blandine. I'm like, I know who it is.
Yeah, so I was thinking of that.
There you go.
And
if my brain would ever get back to where it was, I'd be a happy camper. But that ain't gonna happen before I got sick. If it just get back to where it was.
So,
But nope.
Casey said there's supposed to be snow in New Hampshire, so I'll have to ask him today. Oh no.
Tatum's like, maybe we'll have snow. I said, you better hush your mouth. I don't want none of that white stuff at my house.
But
No.
Casey did have one bad day. He wasn't feeling good, and they all had something going around the house where he lives, and he was really, really homesick.
Oh yeah, we all had the stomach bug around here.
He said, "Mom, if I would, I almost bought me a ticket and come home."
No, we don't know nothing else on you, baby. We
there's not, Tanya.
We haven't had any updates.
But continue to pray for Tracy.
Yes, please.
I think her insurance isn't wanting to pay, isn't it? To go for should I go out of state, you guys?
They're not going to approve her going out of state to have that procedure done, and so they're working on it because they're filing they just filing an appeal to see if they can.
And it's quite a drive. I think it's not like just over the border. Like
it's in Ohio.
Yeah, we cross over the bridge, right? Yeah,
and you're in Georgia.
Yeah, we got the river right behind right behind us.
And just go across the river. I'm in Alabama.
Or 5 minutes down the highway here goes into Georgia.
Yeah,
but it's not like that. It's quite a travel to those people that where she needs to go.
I know it was so funny when we were coming home. I said, "We already in Georgia."
Hi, Dwayne.
Dwayne, how you doing, sweetness?
I did video FaceTime with Derek yesterday for quite a while, and then I got to see Wifey, as I call her. That's Dina, his wife. But he's that he keeps having to go. He was in the hospital for COVID. And he said that was awful because they really quarantined him,
Yeah, they do, honey. They will quarantine you in a minute.
And so I guess it really got him emotionally. But, they treat the symptoms of his cancer.
Yeah.
But look, you guys, I done told him, I said, my hair's going back lighter. My roots were dyed pink. You can almost see the blonde, can't you, Denise?
Yeah.
So I told Derek, I said, all right, Derek, I'll go back blonde.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so you better stick around.
Yeah, you got to stay around.
I said, it's going to take a while, so you better hang in here. Stick around. And I told Kevin, I said, my hair's going to go lighter and lighter because I done told Derek that, his wife had a scare. It's been a couple of months ago, I think. So she's been having tests run, but she's back to work full time now. They really don't know what the problem was, but I believe she's had a lot of stress on her. Well, her one son's in college, one is graduating, and of course, Derek being so sick takes a lot for a woman that works so much. That's a lot to deal with.
Yes, it is.
So remember their family too.
There's just a lot of stuff going on with everybody.
Elizabeth, you don't remember the blonde, my hairdresser?
Hey, you ain't been blonde in a long time.
I know. I went back red when I was 50, when I hit 50. And so I'm 58.
She ain't had blonde hair in a while.
Yeah, it's funny. I was blonde until I hit 30. When I hit 30 to 40, I had red hair. From 40 to 50, I went back blonde.
That's
And
why
then,
nobody remembers.
and then at 50, I went back red.
She can't decide.
I know, Hetty. My hairdresser said that she said, you know, you ain't gonna like it. That's how you ain't gonna like it. Because you like color. I said, yes, I do. I do.
Yeah, you do like color. Hey, you do whatever you want to your hair. It's fine.
And Tony, this time I didn't go live when I dyed my hair. Poor Tony. I thought of him though.
Yeah. She hasn't used that. Well, you haven't used that red like you did that
Mm-mm.
one time in a while.
No. It's been a little while. Um, but look, I was sitting in here and I pulled up when I went live when I did my hair, and it's
Mhm.
so funny because I saw where Tony said it looked like. I think he said looked like I got hit in the head with a pipe
Yeah.
in the
No,
wrong
somebody done come in the house and hit her in the head with
or
a
in the
pipe.
wrong neighborhood. But you guys, I heard Mama in the background, so I sat here and watched that whole video of me dyeing my hair because I could hear Mama in the background. And I didn't cry. I would smile. And then part two, I did my makeup. Um, and I could hear her saying stuff in the background, laughing at me. I told her, I said, you must be getting some ridiculous pictures of my facial expressions.
Mhm.
I said, stop it, Mama. But, you know, I don't cry.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I did, you know, but I'm at the point that just hearing her voice is, you know, wonderful. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
they're happy. I'm good for a long time until the only thing that bothers me right now is if I have to give somebody a death certificate. And if I have to do that, that tears me up still. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I'm good. I can tell people, he passed away. I get
No, Kevin, look, you won't let me talk to you.
Hey, Kevin. How you doing? Hey,
Oh,
honey. I
are you?
love you, honey. Yeah, it's just kind of it's a little different.
No, I didn't know that. In February, I thought you still had the boys. Oh, man. I thought those.
Elizabeth.
I am so sorry, Elizabeth. I thought the twins still live with you. I
I
hate
am
that.
so sorry, baby.
Um,
Didn't know that either.
I didn't.
But yeah, I can listen to his voicemails, and I don't get upset. I smile. Most things now just make me laugh a lot because I can hear him say stuff like when we're cutting up, me and Sarah and Tatum, or me and Tatum are cutting up. I can just or Tatum will say, "Grandpa'd say so and so and so and so."
Well, it's kind of like Kevin saying word.
Yeah, I know, Elizabeth. Last year was my year, and I don't want to do it over. I can tell you, I don't want no
I
do
am
overs.
I am
No,
so sorry. I can't believe
no.
it's been that long, Elizabeth, that you FaceTimed with me and the boys were there. Well, 9 months.
Yeah,
Yeah, you was pregnant.
yeah.
Um, I am going to send this link. I think this link will go to Tiffany's profile. Um, I don't know how many of you have her on your Facebook, but
Yeah.
she did that video public, so it's kind of telling what's been going on with her. And, you know, she and I couldn't sleep one night. I guess because Casey was having a hard time that day, and all of us, the niece, and I mean, you think about it, if I love this, and I love all of you guys,
Mm-hmm.
so if there's something that just is keeping me away from this, sort of like when I was sick and couldn't go to church, it causes a kind of a depression. Oh,
Oh my
I am
gosh.
so sorry. Well, I don't even know what to say. I know it's not very often I don't know what to say, but you know what, Elizabeth, I know how I felt. Brandy was with us 3 years. So I know what it felt like when we had to send her back to live with her mom. I felt like my heart was ripped out. I really did. So yes, I know how you feel.
Yep.
And I love our oldest daughter. There was just, when you go through custody battles, it's a battle. And um, Kevin was over the road, or there was just a lot of emotional stuff. And the day they went to court, and Kevin told the judge, you know, the judge was going to leave her with us, but Kevin said, no, send her back to her mom, because he knew uh, it kept turmoil in our house. And, but that day, it was like my heart was ripped out. It was. But I thank God Brandy's 40, and, me and her are good. We're good. And I do, even if it's not very often, but I still, now we get to be part of our grandkids' lives. And then we have the great grandbaby. So I just thank God that He intervened, and she and I have a relationship we do now.
Yeah.
And she would tell people, this is my other mom. This mom taught me this, this, and this.
Yeah.
So she'll say, this mom did this and this mom did that. So, and during the whole time she lived with us, it was never, even though her mom would want her to say something negative about her dad, she never did. So it was like she was torn between two moms. It was just that way. And Jen, she'll FaceTime. I could FaceTime her now, and if she's got the baby, I get to see the baby, and oh, she's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So God is good. And Jen, I'll try to send you pictures of my grandson. We got his,
Graduation pictures.
his father sent us the
The senior pictures.
proofs of the senior pictures, and he's 18. This
Yeah.
is senior year.
He's
And,
handsome.
you know, I told him, I said, thank you. And I put G baby daddy. Um, and, I told him, I said, from the top and bottom of my heart, thank you. Because you know what? He didn't have to send those. And he said, oh, there's Callie. Hey,
Hey,
Callie.
Kelly. How are you?
But I told he didn't have to do
Nice
that.
to meet you.
And he said, and will you will be getting original pictures. Um, he him and Tiffany always co-parented, so Joey knows his mama's there. But you guys, it was I didn't know. Yes, he's graduating. Um, I told his dad, I said, I don't know whether to smile or cry, but it made my chest tighten up because I thought, if that daddy can do that, um, the other family could do that. You know, seeing,
That's a whole nother world.
yeah, seeing, if we could have visited and stayed in touch over FaceTime with our granddaughter,
Awesome.
it wouldn't hurt. But
Oh, wow.
I just have to not, I shouldn't cry because God's done promised that she's going to be with me again. With,
Oh.
what's wrong?
Look what Callie put. No, it's good. Callie, that's awesome.
Oh my goodness. Callie, are you going to video it? I mean,
She is
not,
not going to send you no video.
no, I mean, not the, no, not the, that.
She'll send you a picture of the baby, I'm sure. I'll be right back.
Oh, Callie, I am so, so happy. Um, when I said, start talking about Callie, fractured families, not completely broke, but just fractured, I told them of you too, of what you went through with your children, your grown children. Oh, oh, Callie. Yes, the Lord's good. The Lord's good. And Red, um, she's not here, but usually when I say somebody's name, they pop up. But Red has gotten um, blessings from her children. Jen, we take the blessings as we can. Um, just like I said, um, grandbaby daddy. That's what I call him. Um, him allowing, my grandson around.
I'm here.
With Callie, we will add you to the still the prayer list.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I couldn't sleep one night. It was last week, and I knew that Tiffany had turmoil, but I have to leave her alone. Casey is different. I can ask him, and he would usually tell me. But Tiffany's like her dad. If she don't want to talk about it, she's not going to talk about it. But somehow,
Very true.
it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I went in the kitchen and I told her, I said, Casey was homesick. He talked about he almost flew home. And I had to be the one to tell him. Because Callie, my son, 33-year-old son, just up and moved to New Hampshire. Never been on a plane, never wanted to stay away from home. But it's exciting. But I had told him, I said, all right, I got to be the voice of reason. You don't feel good and you're homesick. This is not a hurdle because people say, well, if you'll get over this hurdle. No, I said, this is a speed bump.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I said, give it 6 months. if you, and I said, save up for your car. And I
Mhm.
said, then if you want to, you come home, this is always home.
Amen.
And I told him, I said, now your daddy would tell me to say, beg you to come home. Because his daddy told me, beg him not to go. Please beg him not to go. And I said, Kevin, I can't do that.
No.
I have got to stand beside him and be with him through this. So yes, and so you know that was really, I was having to pray about a lot of stuff that night. So at 2 o'clock, I was talking to Tiffany, and then the fountain broke. Then she tells me everything
Yeah.
she was feeling. And then, because of what I was feeling spiritually, I said, Tiffany, being sick, not being in church, not listening to praise music, not opening my Bible, you guys, not being in the Word, none. I mean, I could have watched live my churches, but you guys, I'm telling you, when we get like that, and that is not of God.
Yeah. Me and Darlene were talking about this the other day, and I told her, I said, my Bible's sitting right here, and I ain't touched it.
Yeah,
It was hard to, and it was like I felt bad. I just felt bad. I had the
yeah,
moody blues for a little while, and just, it was like that seemed like so many things were falling
yeah. With me
apart.
and her both.
It wasn't it wasn't one certain thing for me either. It was just there was just a lot of little stuff. And
Yeah,
I just let the little stuff just get too big for me, and I'm like, what the heck am I? And I told Darlene, and then I was watching some Christian movies, and I was talking to Darlene about it, and then I got to listen to some preaching. I mean, I could have easily turned my son on and watched him because his is live every Sunday, and I didn't do that. I'm like, Lord, I'm not just blah. I said,
mhm.
I ain't even watched my baby preach, and it's like it's horrible. I was like,
Yeah.
not good.
Me and Denise would talk about what we need to do. Well, we'll try
Yeah,
to get on tomorrow. And when we were talking late in the evening, I have not been a morning person.
no. She
When
told
we would
me,
talk about, I said, well, Denise, we need to get back on live.
yeah, and I said, I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't want to be like this anymore. I got to do the right thing.
Yeah, because both, um,
Yeah,
my Saturday night pastor, Keevan's church, is
it
my
is.
family. I look around and it's like family reunion. They're all my cousins up in there, and we're real
That's
close.
good.
Well,
That's real good.
their preaching usually lines up with what my pastor's preaching. So I got two powerful women, godly women
Yeah.
preachers. Hey,
Oh,
they
I was, and I did. I put out there to, Darlene and them that I need prayer because, I was having a tough time. It was just tough and I couldn't put my finger on it.
yeah, it was
But
like
if
I
y'all wondering why I'm bundled up, here in Georgia. It is cold. The wind is blowing like crazy. But I love to sit out here on my front porch when I'm doing this because it just feels. I don't know. I'm out here on my front porch. I'm out here. Nature's all around me.
it's
You know,
68
God.
here.
God's beauty's everywhere around here for me, and I love it. And it's like, yeah, Kelly, I know. It's like Faith on the Go is my new channel to watch.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, put the link in here, Callie. All of
Yeah,
you guys, put your link in here.
I would love to see that.
Look, Callie does great
I know
videos
this one, yeah.
on
She
nature.
does. She does when she has them out.
What's that for Fahrenheit? You,
Yeah.
you go,
Oh, she's in 22 degrees centigrade. That means it is 30. 30.
Callie did a
It's
video for
cold.
me.
It's
Huh?
cold.
She did a
It's
video
cold.
for me one time in the snow. You remember that, Callie? I think you took colored water or something
Baby girl. Come on.
and did.
Come on.
But yeah, I took Bailey out and then I looked and it felt so good outside. It was cool and
Are you cold?
the trees were blowing, the leaves are falling. Oh,
Well,
okay.
we've
It's
got
a
a
path, but still,
yeah. We got a hurricane that's going to hit Florida and then come up, and when it reaches us, it's going to be a tropical storm. But we've got right now we've got 16-mile-an-hour winds, and we've got like almost close to 30-mile-an-hour wind and gusts, and they gusting regular. And oh yeah, Darlene seen my hair just straight up. That one was
yeah,
going like straight up.
her hair was waving at me. Darn, Kevin,
And then
oh, it's
so,
-7, Denise.
yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute, it should be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to look and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm wrong, because yeah,
and you
because
guys,
there's
Monique
20.
has found her an online Bible study, so that's good. That's
Yes, she
good.
is. She's doing
Um,
that, which is
I
awesome.
told her I felt like
Thanks, Wayne.
I felt like I was letting everybody down, but like I said, Joyce Myers kicked my butt this morning.
It's and I've tried to, and I know as Christians we're not perfect. We still go
Mhm.
through. We still go through some trying times, and but I'm not. I'm not saying my faith eased
Yeah.
away because it didn't. I mean, I was talking to God pretty regular. I'm like, I said, God, we got to do something about this. I can't handle all this mess. This is getting ridiculous now.
Oh, Hetty, I went in there in his
Yeah.
room to get a stand to put in my room,
I sure hope
and
that bus driver ain't forgot my grandchild.
the stand had all of his like his Bible and all of that on it. So as I was taking stuff off of it, um, I was looking at everything, and I was thinking, "Oh, I miss this. I miss this." And I come across like three songbooks because people are sending him hymnals, and and then there was one typed up song that I used to sing to them when they was kids. I told Tiffany,
Yeah, Jermaine.
I said, Casey would just bring it on me. I said, he would just
Got up.
find
Looked
a,
at it.
he would find a song and say, here, Mom, we're going to sing this. And I'd be like, I said, Casey, yeah, Mom, we're going to sing this.
You can sing.
So I would sit enough behind him that they could just hear him. But that's one of the things I miss a lot is his
Yeah.
singing. Tiffany,
I miss Casey.
what do you miss? Because there was two different things we missed about him, and Tiffany's was one thing, and then
His hugs.
yes,
Casey hugs really good. Y'all.
well, Callie, this is going to be the first time my son has been in that kind of snow. He
Yeah.
has.
Okay, Casey.
All right, Sandy, you got to let us know what time that you're going on. Is it going to be 4? I told Sandy we weren't going to be on long.
Yeah.
But you guys, I kept putting it off, and
Today she sent me a message. You feel like going live today?
And that
I
was
said,
earlier.
yeah.
But you know, my son, Callie, my son's very hot natured.
Yes.
So, but hot natured and snow up to your ankles or more. But I think the states up there pretty much keep the roads clear. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in New
We,
York when it snowed one time, and I was amazed that we was
see,
able.
y'all got snow yet?
But you
We are.
guys, he's actually working. Oh, Callie, you sound like me.
Now that would be me if I was with up in the cabin with Jean. Me and her to have no, we'd probably be in our PJs.
But you guys,
I don't know.
this is the first time Casey's actually worked face to face with a company
Yeah,
since I think since he was
face
in
to
the
face
fall.
with customers.
Yeah, with all where we work too. So he said he feels like he gets to help people. It's the Apple Store, and since he's been doing tech support online for all these years, he at least it was something for him to be good at, and him know he's good at it.
Yeah, Casey quit drinking coffee too. Quit drinking any kind of caffeine.
Yeah, he sure did. What he quits? I think he might still vape, but he stopped caffeine. I think he's dropped 40 pounds,
Yeah, he looks really good.
and he gets to walk. He does a lot of walking because it's a huge mall. It's a 2-story mall. He said it's huge, and it's in Manchester, New Hampshire. Oh, thank you, Callie. But you guys, before he left, Tiffany said, "Mom, we need an address, a real address for these people." So I think he was heading on the plane when we finally got an address. Yay, Callie, look, I need to lose about 30.
Hey, sweetie.
So, of course, I put in that address and I looked, I Google Earthed it to where you could see the street. And then I Googled all kind of things about Manchester. And then I got excited for him because I'm like, oh man, Casey, they've got this and they got museums and they got, you know, but you guys, he drove to Boston because the family, his friend's wife, she flew down here after Casey got up there. She flew down here to see her mom. So he said, Mom, I drove to Boston by myself. So he's doing all kind of things first time. The couple have 4 kids. They've got 2 sons. One's graduated. One's fixed. I think the other one's about to graduate. And then the younger ones are 2 and 3, I think.
What are you?
And you guys, Casey changed a diaper, a poop diaper. He never done that for his niece or nephew. He would not touch a baby wipe.
A baby wipe?
So that's another first. I need to write these down. And then he cooked Brunswick stew. He called me for the recipe, and I talked him through it. And I said, "Well, who's going to take the chicken off the bone?" He touched raw chicken. You guys just don't know. He don't like touching raw meat. He did all that. So, and he ate something that was cooked with ranch made in it. And I said, well, how was it? He said, good. So he's got all of these first. Yes, Callie. And I told him, I said, if you had met somebody here, I said, I know you was lonely, but had you met somebody here, you might have been reluctant about leaving. And he asked me before he left. He said, "Mom, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
How do you feel?"
Okay.
I said, "I feel good, Casey." You don't have one of those feelings, do you? Because his friend asked him, "Well, what's your mama said?" He said, "Well, she ain't had one of her feelings, and I go by what mama feels." I said, "Casey, I am at peace. I'm excited. I'm at peace for you." And you know what? You guys know the enemy does not bring peace. That is not, I'm going to look that scripture up.
That's true.
Peace comes from the Lord.
Amen. It does.
And I'm like, just as I get both of my kids back. Oh, yes, I love that. For I know the plans I have for you.
Yes. It does.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop. Hold on, I'm gonna have to mute Tatum's home. Bus is here anyway.
Tell them I say I love them. All right, I'm
I'll
going
wait.
to put
Like I
that.
said, he's just getting off the bus, so the dogs ain't started yet.
Let
I'm
me see if
waiting.
I can paste it. Yeah, there we go. Yes. He knows exactly the path that he has for us. The
Oh
church I'm
yeah.
going to
That's
now,
right.
it was Pastor Appreciation Day Sunday, and on the card, I said, I thank God that he guided our steps, mine and Tiffany's, that Sunday night. That was the church that was still open, and I had been there before, so we were late, but we sat back there and
Tatum's
in the
home.
back, eased in there, and was at church. Didn't know anybody in there that I didn't think I knew. And the Pastor Amy, I don't know how she did it so quick because we were on the last aisle, but she stopped us before we left. And that's where I've been going. Oh, man. Fresh onions and carrots. Look, Denise and them planting potatoes. I said, I didn't know we could plant potatoes. I ain't never known of people planting potatoes.
Are you kidding? Honey, we used to plant potatoes every year. Good gosh, we had a
Look, if me and Tiffany could plant those, what are they? Golden? They call them
I
golden
had
potatoes.
I had racks and racks of potatoes over here and racks of potatoes over at Dad's.
We like the thin skin yellow potatoes, Klondike or something.
I
Butter
know, but
potatoes. Man,
we had red potatoes and we had regular white potatoes.
you guys know that it's like we have what is it?
Woohoo! That's mine and Tatum's thing. I have to woohoo.
Um, dang, it's like
And then
going
that
from subject to
Denise book.
subject. If somebody didn't know, they'd be like, "What in the world are they talking about?" One time
Go
they're talking about
ahead.
hair color, another time it's people that's passed away, another time it's this. Well, that's
Take y'all to the bathroom. Y'all just don't know it. I
um,
take you all over the place. You'd be surprised.
but Pat, Dwayne. I miss Dwayne. Mothership Products.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys, he was always in here. Well, he moved from Nevada to Alabama. He's an Alabama person now. He
Yeah.
lives, I think it's 2 hours away. I think it is.
Y'all got school tomorrow?
No,
Y'all got school tomorrow?
we don't know.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
sweetie. Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Liberty County don't,
Okay.
but they ain't told us nothing yet.
Okay.
Hey, he didn't say his thing. Hey, TV Land. What is it you say?
TV Land, I didn't know y'all were live. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
He said it.
Yeah, they got to see those curls.
That's my baby.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to
Huh?
give you hope and a future.
Well, don't
Amen.
put it on the couch.
I'm not going
Amen.
to. I figured that out this morning. I got the
Um,
right road car, by the way.
Huh?
I got the
I
right
think
road
it was Sunday.
Well, put it back in there.
Sunday coming from church because I didn't play nothing. I didn't play nothing going to church because I like to just talk to God in the car and coming home. And he revealed something to me that I can't really say now. I will after I tell Tiffany because it's about her, and it just amazed me. And I'm like, oh wow, we sometimes forget the part in the Bible where he knew us before we were born.
Yeah.
And
Um,
it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, wow. So
mhm.
those times that I was sunk in my bed, not crying and didn't even think I was depressed, Denise told me I was. She said, it's not normal. So I think when bless her heart, I finally just didn't even realize I had sadness in me and just let it loose on Denise and cried like I hadn't cried, I think, since Mama died.
It was fine.
I had grabbed tissue after tissue after tissue.
She
And
needed.
yeah, I really needed to get that out.
It's
But
just, and I told her that's because I know because I'm still trying to find my normal. I haven't, when Hetty understands too. I was with Alvin for 43 years. That was always my normal. Well, now this ain't my normal. It is now, but it's not something that I'm used to, and I still have to. Um, I still have to find it. I have to
well,
find and I know my place is here. I know my place is, doing the things that I can do, and I love it here. I love it. Get great peace and satisfaction from being here and being with everybody. I, I love being with people. Period. I always
mhm.
have. So it's just kind of, well, like I said, Tatum's in school, Sarah works. I'm here
Mhm.
all day, every day. Sometimes I go, I'll run to the store or something, but it's just, I'm good. My faith still holds strong. It always has.
Do you see
You
what
know,
Callie said?
the Lord says He is alive in your heart. Yeah, and that's what I told Darlene. I said, "There's lots of people that because I know when you say your vows and you do that till death do you part, but I still feel like I am married to Alvin. I don't
Mhm.
feel any different as far as that's concerned. He's just not here. But that doesn't change my heart. It doesn't change my life. He's still a big part of it. He's,
So,
there are like times I kind of just feel like I know he's not here, guys. I know he's in heaven. But there are times that I don't know. I just feel close to him.
yeah.
Sometimes when I get kind of down in the dumps, I'll go crawl up in his chair. Lots of times, if I can't sleep, I'll go crawl up in his chair
And she looks so tiny in his chair. Look, you
and
guys.
I can get right to sleep.
You guys, there was times he'd be sitting there asleep, and Denise would be FaceTime with me, and we should walk by his chair. She'd turn the camera to where I could see him sitting there asleep with his mouth open. Then she'd turn the camera to her and be giggling. I said, "Leave him alone." But yes,
He was one day he was sitting there too. I was talking to Darlene and I happened to look. I said, "What are you doing?" Because his arms were out like this and he was just doing. I said, "What are you doing?" And the thing about Alvin, he will talk to you in his sleep. He said,
yeah,
"I'm flying." I said, "You're what?" He said, "I'm flying." I said, "Well, where are you flying?" Up here, over the top. I can see the top of the trees
I
and
told her, I
everything.
said, "Leave him alone." Yeah, I
She
said,
said,
"Let
"Let
him
him
fly."
fly.
And
Let
it
him
wasn't,
fly."
and you think about it, it wasn't long before he really flew.
And like I said, when I think about Alvin, I'm very happy. I'm not sad anymore. I don't have that bad feeling about anything anymore. It's all like funny stuff and stuff that's really close to my heart, but it doesn't bring me down. It doesn't make me sad at all anymore. Um
Like me being able to hear Momo in a video.
yeah.
I
I mean,
smile.
I will listen to his voicemail sometimes. I will watch a video of us being online and I can see Alvin walk by and I can see Alvin talk to us,
It did not matter
talk to Darlene,
if he was just
and he
going to the
kissed me
store.
bye. He
Yep,
kissed me bye every time he
yep,
left. He
he sure
never
would.
ever not left without kissing me bye.
Um,
So yeah, that's what I said. I said he is
Callie,
just happy.
that what you said about keep blessing everyone the Lord puts in your heart, the joy will lift you out of sorrows.
It does.
Oh, Callie,
It does.
I am going. Oh, I wish I could think of find what I was watching. Um, that was exactly what Joyce Meyer said. She
It's one
said,
of the yeah. Yeah.
if you're not joyful and
Leave
in
him
the
alone.
Lord, she said, it's probably because you're not putting out. She said, if you bless somebody and
Yeah,
you just
I
tell
do.
people, about God, the joy comes back. If you put out to somebody, and see, that's what
Yes.
this has always been.
Yes.
And so by you saying that is exactly what she's talking about. So I said, Lord, I hear you.
Yep.
Yes, I felt joy when I was going live. Lord,
Yep.
I know. And I was talking to him over Joyce Myers. I said, I know, God, I hear you.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah,
I hear
Callie.
what you said. Whoop.
Callie, I made, you guys used to see Mama coming when she'd get up in the morning. Me and Denise was talking about she'd pass right by me.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
I keep that door shut now, and me and Kevin, it went back there because I couldn't
Alright.
stand the thoughts of it felt empty. Me and Casey tried to keep a light on in there.
I've got to get over to Sandy's.
Okay.
She's ready. So she's fixing to go up. So she sent me the link. But y'all
All right.
come on over to Sandy's. I'll be there too. Darlene, you coming?
Yeah. Let me find. All right. Let me find her link.
Okay. I love you guys.
I love you too. Thank
I'll
you.
see y'all soon.
All right. You guys, let me get that. There we go.
Bye, guys.
I love you, Denise. Thank you.
Love you too. I love all of you guys. Y'all made my day. You put a smile on my face as always. Mwah. God bless y'all.
All right, you guys. I'm giving you guys a link for Sandy's channel. Will somebody check that link? I don't want it to kick me out. You guys, there's so much to do in here. This side of the room that you guys can actually see, this table right here, as cluttered as it is, it's not even comparison. It's not even in comparison to the other side where at one time Casey had me everything so in order in here. And I don't know how I blew it up to what it is, but I'm only able to do small things. Because when I get in here and start moving anything around, it bothers my back. So it's like I try to do stuff and I do some and then maybe go lay down and rest my back and then get up and do some more stuff. I know I told God, I said, I'm not going to say anymore that I hate my body. I said, because I believe in healing. And I also know that there's, sometimes we carry something and it might be for somebody else. You guys, my mouth gets dry. Oh, I would tell her, Callie. I would tell her because she and I talked, and it was like sometimes you go through a dry spell, and I said, "Well, babe, you hadn't put any word, you hadn't put the word out there," and I said, "God still has plans for you. There's people for you to touch." So she put that video out there, and it was right on time. Yeah, Callie. And I finally told God, I said, "Oh, God, I cannot say that because you made my body the way it is. We are the vessel. So me saying I hate my body, because there's things I want to do. I was always busy. The kids remember when I kept the house clean, and Tiffany said, Mom, I remember when you would come home from work. You'd work all day, come home, you'd start supper, then you'd start. She said you were just so busy until it was time to go to bed. And see, she has not lived home for quite a while. So she wasn't used to the part of me that really hurts. I was not one of these that tried to cheat the system by going on disability. And believe me, I had a judge that, well, it was intended in God's time. But the second time I had gone from that same judge, he was so ugly. So ugly. And I just, under my breath, I prayed because he done made me cry. I prayed, Lord, just please let him see me. Let him just see me. But I do have limitations, and I don't like that. I don't like having to pace myself. Let me see how long I've been on, and see, it's been an hour of me sitting here, and I know when I get off here with you guys, I will. My back's going to hurt, but it's going to hurt anyway. There is pain, but I tell my husband he hurts when he comes in from work. Because I always say he's doing a young man's job. And I'll tell him, I said, baby, I know how you feel. He said, no, you don't. You just can. I know you don't know what this feels like. Excellent way. A teaching on spiritual roots and disease. Mine too, Callie. But I was able to let that go. That's why I told my sister, I said, no, Irene, I said, no, I let all that go. I said, God, help me let it all go. And I told her, I said, I was in my prayer closet, which I got stuff in it right now, but I still pray all the time, but I like getting in the prayer closet and just shutting myself away from everything. But, yeah, God let me, it was like he played a video for me in my head. And as far back as my life could go, from a little girl being called things that, no parent should say to a little 4-year-old, and all the way up to, it was like it was going in fast forward. The people that was close to me, or people, I've had a knife put to my throat when I still lived at home by ex-boyfriend. I've had a family member put a gun to my stomach. Well, my mom. I'll go ahead and say it. And I've had other things that's happened and things said to me, and I saw all that stuff. And I started laughing, Callie. It was I've never laughed in the spirit, but that's what it was. And he showed me that he was with me through all of that. Even through a rape. And, sometimes when you say certain words, they won't take my video away, but I'm okay with that. Today, to say it live, even that happened. But I said, God, you was always with me. They couldn't kill me. They could not break me with words. Words hurt a lot worse. Because the other that was done to me, I completely blocked that out until about 3 years ago. And, when I was talking with somebody and I actually said those words, and Mama was the first person that I told that to. And it was like until then I couldn't even say it. And it was because that person passed away. And I think that broke something. But once you give voice to something, it's like it don't have a hold on you anymore. So that person no longer had a hold on me from that part in my life. But I laughed because I couldn't be broken. I thought I was broken, but no, they could not break me. And I just laughed. Yes. Yes, Callie. Yeah, so I'm able, to go to my mom's Mother's Day. I was there for 2 hours. And that was a big thing, Callie, because there's been times I'd have to hang up on her. When Tiffany was out in the streets and stuff. But I told my sister, I said, I'm fine. I'm okay. I said, God helped me get over that. And now I will say that anytime I talk with my hands, you guys, so does my daughter. You guys have seen her videos, she got those hands going. But if I tell a story about something that happened, or, oh, I ran into so-and-so, and if it brings up anger, that means that you have not forgiven that person. So and me and Tiffany have to remind each other, because she said, Mom, you're really getting that way. I'll get it. You're really getting that way. I said, well, yeah, you're right. If I have anger when I'm telling something, then that means I'm not over it. All right, Hetty. You know what? All right. That shows you guys how I'm not organized. Because my little girl picture, it's like, where is she at? Oh, there she is. Right here. I stuck her up on my map. There she is. Little Dusty. There she is. And I can look at this now and not cry. When I finished painting, when I first painted the little girl, when I finally got her done, I stepped back and I cried. It was like I was crying for somebody else. But I cried for that little girl. And then I thought of the mirror. And I didn't like the angel wings because I wanted them to be perfect, but I was told to leave them. And I moved my grandmama's thing, did her dresser thing, vanity in my bedroom back there. So I've got part of my nanny in Mama's room. But you guys, my mom don't acknowledge my dad. My dad's been dead, I forget how long now. And she took care of him. He had a stroke, and she took care of him up to when he passed. But to her, once he passed, hi, Anna. I have not seen you in so long, Anna Mora. But my mom, she just don't acknowledge my dad as anything. She said, Mm. But anyway, it was like once he died, he wasn't nothing to her anymore. But, you know, yes. And I've got a necklace that Vanessa Heron sent me when I was going through the process of doing that picture. And it was it it's round and it's silver, and it says, "Though she be little, she be fierce," because Vanessa went through some of the same stuff. And so she sent that to me, and I wear it a lot of times. But I picked that up today, and I looked at it, and I smiled, you know. So when you get released from those things, then you can be okay. And the part of feeling pain, Paul went through a lot. And then I know I got to cut it short because I got to get over to, support Sandy's channel. But, it talked about Paul had a thorn in his side. He was in prison. And I guarantee it wasn't nice. And he still touch base with these churches, and God used him. So I know that in my pain, that I can understand somebody better, that I can have more compassion for. Now I understand when, like, your child is lost out there on the streets. If somebody says, "I haven't seen my child, I don't know where they are, they're out in the streets, they're doing this, this, and this," I can say, "I know how you feel because I lived that." I don't know what it feels like to be in addiction. I know the flip side. I know being a child of alcoholics. I know what it feels like now to have two family members. When I met Kevin, he was in addiction. Didn't know. God, I prayed, "Lord, what am I doing? I am going from one that cheated on me, and now this one. Lord, what am I doing?" But way back then, I was 22. God let me see the man he was going to be. Now, if Kevin I was 22, 23, he was 25. Mama's son, I knew Mama first, but I'm trying to get this out to wrap it up. But you guys, I always tell people, God let me see the man he was going to be. Saturday night, during praise and worship, all of a sudden, God said, "For this moment," you guys, for this moment right here. That's what he told me when I was 22, when he let me see the man he was going to be. Is he perfect? No, neither am I. He still has things to conquer, but that's between him and God. Now, I try not to get angry because I'll just walk away. I say, that's between you and God, and I turn around and walk away. But Saturday night, we go to church and praise and worship, and how many people are out there on Saturday nights doing other things? Well, they have a hangover the next day. But you know what? God allows me to stand up and praise and worship. Kevin has tapped me before because he's not. He knows what the spirit feels like when it's moving in your. But he had. Hey there, Monique. But he has not let go. I'm Pentecostal, but he joined a Pentecostal type of church. But you guys, standing by my husband, because I used to take kids to church and all that, standing by my husband and God saying, for this moment right here, oh, amen. Callie, he was raised right, and I knew that. I knew his mom raised him right. So he did have that foundation. But then I did pass judgment on people that if their children got in trouble later, well, if they hadn't been doing so and so, I was judgmental and didn't even realize it. Because with my brother-in-law, I would get so angry. I'd get so angry every time I'd hear Mama back there crying because he was in jail and wanting money or whatever. I would be so angry. Then it happened to me. It happened to me. And, it's not a get even thing. Some people, because my mama said, that's what you get. But it's not a getting even thing. God does not work that way. Monique, Denise jumped over on Sandy's, and I need to. Sandy went live at 4. But, yeah, now I can tell people, I can tell somebody, just pray about it. In his time, God will reach out to that person. Just keep the faith. And I can tell them this is what happened with my daughter. Me and Mama sat at the kitchen table because we'd been at each other for about a week or so. And it had nothing to do with us. Her son was getting on her nerves. I was at my nerves because I didn't know where Tiffany was. Yes, Monique. I was in sorrow about my grandchildren and sorrow that my daughter wasn't here. So we sat at the kitchen table, and Mama said, I just wish they'd be put in jail. At least we'd know where they was at. And we sat at the kitchen table and cried. We cried as two mothers crying for our grown children. I cried for my brother-in-law that I loved. And she grieved for her granddaughter. So, like they said, people gave testimony Saturday night. Yes. And I'm looking at Callie. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Yeah, I mean, now when I see somebody walking down the road, instead of like, oh, I wish they wasn't walking up and down my road. No, I look at people and I automatically pray, Lord, please be with them. They're somebody's son or somebody's father or all of it. And they could have a loved one at home grieving for that person. And that's what I pray every time I see somebody on the street like that. Yeah, Callie. Um, you know, God, I mean, I said, coming from church, I said, God, why? I am, I am like, I should be seasoned. I am 58 years old. I was saved when I was 8 or 9 years old. And I, I should not be like a, uh, fresh Christian. I am refreshed because the word that's been poured in me. Um, but I'm like, God, I should be further along than this. But anyway, you guys, I'm rambling. But I guess there was things I need to let you guys know how Saturday night it was amazing. When God told me that, and when we got to the car, I told Kevin. And he didn't talk about it so much because, yeah, God knows their names and He knows what their needs are. But the judging, yeah, I I didn't even realize I was doing that. But you guys, I'm at a part with my. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Nancy sent me something. But I'm at a point right now, you guys, that I have to. Yes, and I thought this morning. Well, Lord, this is a season. It's fall. This is beautiful. And Lord, I don't have a big family around me now. There's not going to be people here for Thanksgiving, or I miss the crowds. I was looking at the pool that's covered in now, and I was like, oh man, there'd be so many people here all during the summer. And then I thought, this is another season for you, for me. This way you let me know you're in another season in your life. And I said, yeah, God, this is my new season. I am living it right now. I have not been doing this. One day I went all day long and had not spoken to anybody. And when Kevin got home, and then Tiffany got home, I told Kevin, I'm sorry if I'm extra chatty. I said, I haven't talked to anybody today. You're welcome, Callie. And I had not been doing this. I just talked to God because Kevin does not like chatter. It gets on his nerves. Tiffany's not chatty. She's, her and Kevin's a lot alike. So I'm having to relearn me. And you guys know it's a hodgepodge of all different things when I come on live. And I do know that we'll end up at some point with Tracy back. We're still praying for Sonia, you guys. Monique has got to get on this. Miss Hetty got to come on live one day. Callie, you'll have to jump on one day with me. Anna Mora. Anna Mora. You do you know about Derek? Derek has cancer. He's got pancreatic cancer. I know he always sung to you. That's how Tracy got to singing to everybody. Because whenever Anna Mora would come on, and it goes back to Kelly, because she'd sing Anna Mora, and then Derek would sing it. He did it in an Italian way, though. So then somebody else would say, well, I don't get sung to. And so Tracy got to singing to everybody. And when they would do a raid on us and she would have to sing to everybody, you know, God's going to restore. He is. He's going to restore. But I have to be here. I have to actually come sit down and do this. And everything. Anna, I don't think you do FaceTime. Hey, Amber Gray, my little daycare child. Amber, I wish there was a way I knew how to contact you. I think my email address is on my about page, and then I could go in more detail with you. But he come up here one day, and he wasn't feeling good. And oh, let me see who's on. Oh, Chris is sneaky. Chris done come in through Facebook. Chris, let me get out. But look, Chris. There's our Chris. But I done lost base of what I was talking about. I get excited, you know. You guys, I hunted Chris down. Somebody done hacked his thing again, and I couldn't find him. I finally went to his brother's YouTube, and then found his brother on Facebook and told him, tell Chris to get in touch with me, because, you know, I think of all you guys, and then I get excited like, Anna Moore, you've been gone a while. But I can't say nothing. I have not been constant here. And, you know, that's something that today, that's what I was going to say. Oh, I love you. I love you, Callie. And I'll start sending you the link. And, you know, anybody else that wants the link, I'll send it to you. But today it was like everything tried to keep me from coming in here. I spilled tea all over my grandmama's thing in my room, all over it. So then I had to clean it all up. But, yeah, it was like everything was trying to keep me from coming in here and going live. And I finally said, you know what? Oh, no. Nope. I'm going to sit here and go live. So I love you guys. I do come on at different times now. I try to make it around 11 o'clock. And then everything started going wrong today. But I'm going to give it my all, you guys. Get up and not get back in that bed, not sink into that giving up and just not doing anything, being in a cocoon of nothingness. Amen. And God has given me some wonderful people to bless me. You guys bless me. And I just pray that you leave knowing you're loved. Yes, Monique. And I know what it is. And the church, you know, we keep talking about it at church. We are counting down. We are the ones that's supposed to tell this next generation. You know, we're in that season now. We're in that season. We've got to tell people. We've got to tell people that are lost, but just like they said, um, look, they pretty much, the messages line up, you guys, but we've got to tell even other Christians that you come in contact with, make sure you have a relationship with the Lord. Make sure we need to put, he's above my husband. He is above my husband. And there has to be that him, then my husband, and then my children. And my husband's always been the head of the household. But there are Christians sitting whenever they go to church, or they just say a prayer over what they eat. And that's the only time they talk to the Lord. To deal with what we're going to deal with, the closer it gets to Christ coming back, we've got to tell people. And I know that, you guys, and I know this is where God has put me, and I know that. And he's told me. And when I sink into that bed and I just pull my covers up, and then I start that battle, God, why can't I just get up and go in there and do that? It's because it's that battle. And if the devil can battle us any way of not getting the word out, you know what? That's on me. God gave me ability. He set me up. He blessed me with you guys. And I know I need to wrap this up. But we are in the season that we have to tell people. And we've got to show them the joy and let Christ shine through us. And I talk about them all the time, people, wherever I'm at, I talk about God. And, my oldest sister said one time, well, you've got your purpose. When's God going to give me my purpose? She's 7 years older. I said, Irene, you have always been outspoken about the Lord. That's your purpose. You speak him everywhere you go. You share the love everywhere you go. And I said, you could do like me. And bless her, she said, no, I couldn't be like you. I said, why? She said, because you're sweet about it. And look, Monique's going to know this story, because she's like Monique. She said, well, because you're just sweet to people. I just, no, if they're not doing right and they're doing this, I just tell them. But you just have a different way of saying it. So yeah, that's what my oldest sister said. And she is kind of forceful. And, but I just try to do it with love. I have to do it with love, because you know what? There's enough people out there that's been beaten down, mostly by family members. They don't want to be they don't want to be beaten down by Christians, because then they get, and I heard this phrase this weekend, what they say, church hurt. the church is us. And I will say you do not have to go to church, but you know what? He wants us to assemble together. And I was fine, coming together with you guys. But when I started going to church, God showed me, okay, you need to be around a group. And the praise and worship, you guys, to just raise my arms and my husband thinking, you're going to hurt yourself. No, I don't hurt nowhere. When I am at church and I am praising him, I got my hands raised. I say I'm getting my Jesus aerobics on. You guys, it's hard to explain unless you felt it. But I get in the car. Yes, my back hurts. I'm a little slower going up the steps when we get home. But you guys, there's a reason. Yes, I thank God that I hear that voice, you guys. If I'm feeling conviction, because if I do something wrong and I'm not hearing that means God's not talking to me or I'm not listening. So my greatest thing of not doing my sin lately has been not doing what God has told me to do. And it's been a big battle. Monique, I love you. And let me know what time that your prayer study is, Bible study. And then let me know if it's in your language or not. But I love you. I love you guys. And I am going. And I am going to sign in, you guys. You guys, please show Sandy some love. And I'll be back tomorrow. I don't have nowhere I have to go. But even if it's impromptu, because I love you guys and I feel the love that you guys have for me. So I'll say a prayer to close out. Lord, it is not by my might or my strength or my energy. Lord, it's only through you that I can sit here today and proclaim your love, the joy that you give me, and that you give others out there. I pray for those, Lord, that have lost loved ones. And Lord, I pray for those that are sick. And I pray for those that are lonely. Lord, just guide my words. And Lord, thank you for loving us. And it should always in your name that we lift you up. Amen. Thank you guys for joining me today.